YouTube. We got straight A student murders his parents. Hit that like button, subscribe button, let's get into it.
Callers out of state requesting well-being check on her son.
Huh?
Callers out of state requesting well-being check on her son. Donald S. Mayer, born in 73, his wife and their teenage son.
Minutes from now, deputies responding to this call will make a grim discovery: the decomposing bodies of Donald Mayer and his wife Tatiana. What they don't know yet, the couple's teenage son Nikita has just spent weeks living with his parents' lifeless remains.
They gave this nigga Culver's as a reward too.
Nikita has just spent weeks living with his parents' lifeless remains. 17-year-old Nikita is a straight-A student with big ambitions.
And like, bro, something to always take into consideration with something like this, bro. Nigga, you don't know if this nigga is like one of them special ed smart niggas, right? Like one of them Mark Zuckerberg smart niggas. Like he Mark Zuckerberg nigga said he hasn't drunken water and fucking he's never had a drink of water before. Like what type of shit are nigga? What the fuck are you on, bro? Nigga, what type of special needs shit is like? No disrespect to the special needs people out there, but nigga, what holy special needs? That was that statement, bro. That statement was 100% special needs, bro. You never had water in fucking your whole life. The fuck, nigga. So all I'm trying to say is like, you know, this nigga right here, he could be the same Mark Zuckerberg type build, bro.
Worked with an online network to engineer.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Cause Mark Zuckerberg married and shit. Mark Zuckerberg found a way to get him a wife and shit, bro. Even though you know what I mean. So ain't nothing wrong with having special needs and shit, bro.
One inspired. He worked with an online network.
Shit, you can have special needs and still get hoes and shit, man.
To engineer an elaborate scheme. One inspired by the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. With Nikita already miles away, police now find Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. With Nikita already
fucking serial killing ass
miles
nigga.
away, police now find themselves in a race to stop him before more lives are lost.
We have a feeling like we know what happened and when it happened. We have no idea why this happened. Okay? The only one who knows why is you. All right? This is your story.
Nikita was born on September 19, 2007 in Moldova, a small European country sandwiched between Ukraine to the north and east and Romania to the south and west. But his parents eventually split up. But his future took an unexpected turn in 2015 when his mother, Tatiana, met Donald Mayer on an international dating site. Donald and Tatiana hit it off, and before long he flew to Moldova to meet her and Nikita. Over the next year, he met them in Europe on more than one occasion, and in 2017 he traveled overseas once again, this time to marry Tatiana in Moldova. Tatiana and Nikita emigrated to the United States later that year and began their new lives with Donald in his upscale home in Waukesha, Wisconsin, just a few miles from downtown Milwaukee. Moving to a new country was definitely a challenge for 10-year-old Nikita. That said, he did about as well as could be expected for such a life-changing transition. He even became a naturalized citizen in 2021 and began attending Waukesha West High School the following year. According to his teachers, he was polite, hardworking, and involved in lots of clubs and after-school activities. As a junior, he had perfect attendance.
He did it. Bro. What y'all doing if y'all son look like this, bro? What y'all doing if y'all son... I think I'm gonna put this nigga in some type of like therapy session, bro. Cause obviously there's something wrong with you, dude. I'm gonna hand you over to some psychologist, psychiatrist or some shit, bro. It's obviously something wrong with you, bro. That I probably can't fix. I'm gonna take you to church and then I'm gonna hand you over to some psychologist and shit, man.
And was named Student of the Month by the school's health department and was in the process of joining the National Honor Society. Even so, Nikita didn't have many friends. It's unclear.
Bro, even like they probably ain't know because this nigga right here, like they look like two totally different fucking people, bro.
Why? But his parents wouldn't let him get a driver's license either. Friends. It's unclear why, but his parents wouldn't let him get a driver's license.
And then,
either.
Bro, parents do shit like that and then wonder why they kids kill him, bro. Like what the, like, cause you gotta let this nigga like be a kid and live and shit,
teenagers,
bro.
He resented the fact that they exerted so much control over his life. Without wheels, he didn't have much opportunity to socialize with kids his own age outside of school. As such, there was an underlying current of tension between Nikita, Donald, and Tatiana. Unsurprisingly, he turned to internet chat groups to get what he wasn't getting at home or at school. Over time, the bright and well-rounded Moldovan transplant underwent a remarkable transformation that almost no one knew about. At least Donald and Tatiana didn't know about it until they get a surprise visit from FBI agents in 2023. Needless to say, they were shocked when agents told them that they were investigating suspicious and potentially illegal activity from an IP address linked to one of the computers in their home. Unfortunately, we don't know anything more because the details of the investigation weren't released since the case was eventually dropped. But we do know that run-in with the FBI didn't scare Nikita straight. Instead, it may have steeled his nerves and actually accelerated his radicalization. Later that year, using the online name Awoken, he began communicating with members of a shadowy neo group known as the Order of the...
But and that's what's so fucking weird about this shit, bro. Nigga, you're not even from America. How the fuck are you a neo-Nazi, bro? The fuck type of shit is this, dude? Nigga, what are these niggas on about, bruh? What are these niggas on about? It's too many of these niggas who aren't even fucking white American, and they come from another nigga came from a random ass country. The nigga in this video, he came from a random ass fucking country in Europe or some shit, right? And like, nigga, why the fuck are you a neo-Nazi, bro? What do you associate with them with, bro? Or not associate? What are you able to like fucking, what's the word, bro? Were you able to fucking connect with them on, bro? Like, what the fuck?
Nine Angels, or O9A. The group primarily promoted the idea of accelerationism. In a nutshell, it stated that Western society and governments were so hopelessly corrupt that they had to be destroyed so that a new social order could be created. O9A was apparently founded in the United Kingdom in the 1960s or 70s.
Wait,
but
what was it?
That they had
Western society and governments. I mean,
to be destroyed.
What I do feel like, I don't know. I do feel like governments are like, what is it called? Not, I wouldn't say like hopelessly corrupt, but I definitely feel like it be niggas up in there who like, I don't know how to say this shit, bro. But this is extreme as fuck, is all I'll say. This is extreme.
So that
Western society and governments are so hopelessly corrupt that they had
a new social order could be created. O9A.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little extreme.
Apparently founded in the United Kingdom in the 1960s or 70s, but Nikita was allegedly communicating with the Russians.
I do feel like it's a little corrupt though.
60s or 70s, but Nikita was allegedly
not even corrupt. Like, just it's some like I don't know the word for it. It's just I don't know.
With the Russians, or at least he thought he was communicating with the Russians. Whatever the case, he messaged other O9A affiliates on TikTok between December 6th and 8th, all in 2024. In one exchange, he referenced Charles Manson and said that his parents would take away his phone if they knew what he was up to. On Telegram the following month, under the name Accelerationist, he asked who would get blamed if his plans were successful. Later, he mentioned a manifesto that he was writing. After that, he talked to an unknown user known as Angel of Death about purchasing a drone capable of dropping bombs, as well as headphones that could block out the sound of a .357 Magnum. There's no denying that Nikita was smarter than the average 17-year-old. As such, he must have known that secrecy was of the utmost importance. But like many young men his age, he apparently couldn't resist the urge to brag to an attractive member of the opposite sex. In late January or early February of 2025, he told a female classmate what he intended to do. It's unclear if she took him seriously or chalked it up to an adolescent male's bravado and
but like what makes him think that girl would have found that shit attractive, bro? Like, what the fuck?
But before running off to class, he told her in no uncertain terms,
if anything, that's loser shit, bro,
wouldn't end well. To class, he told her in no uncertain terms that it wouldn't end well for her if she told anyone his secret. It's unclear if Nikita actually
Like,
thought
nigga, that's
he'd be-
some weird shit, too. Like, nigga, ain't nobody beg you to tell me this fucking secret, bro. You just told me this shit all by yourself. And now I'm getting death threats on what's gonna happen to me if I go around telling people a secret I ain't even ask for you to give me, bro. What type of
able
shit,
to carry
bro?
out his nefarious
That shit would annoy me like crazy.
plan. After all, how could a 17-year-old with no money, no car, and no driver's license
ain't had shit.
assassinate a president or overthrow
And
the
they ain't
US
had
federal
shit. No money, no car, no driver's license, no friends, no nothing, boy.
government, and single-handedly ensure the future of the white race?
No bitches.
Nonetheless,
No, I'm
government
bullshit.
and single-handedly ensure the future of the white
Like,
race.
this nigga technically...
Nonetheless, he soldiered on and eventually realized that his mother and stepfather had some things he desperately needed, and he knew he would never get them until they were out of the way. At that point, his mother Tatiana and Donald
His mom low-key,
ceased
like,
being
pretty,
human
though.
the way.
I'll say
At
that.
point, his mother
mom is
Tatiana
pretty.
and Donald ceased being human beings and became pawns, or perhaps more accurately,
Wait, what?
ceased being human beings and became pawns, or perhaps more accurately, a means to an end. Nikita abruptly stopped going to school on Wednesday, February the 12th of 2025.
Oh, this was recently.
This was way out of character for the young man who had perfect attendance up until then. Skipping school was the first piece of the puzzle to fall into place that fateful day, but it wouldn't be the last. In fact, the scene inside the home that afternoon was nothing short of horrific. Over the next few days, Nikita electronically submitted a number of school assignments to prevent his teachers and school administrators from asking too many questions. Meanwhile, Donald's mother in Massachusetts got worried when she didn't hear from him as often as she usually did. Like any good mother, she called and texted multiple times to make sure that he and his family were okay. Eventually, she got this message from his phone. "Mom, I just want to take a break from all devices. We're fine." Her keen motherly instinct told her that something just wasn't right, and she got even more suspicious later when subsequent messages didn't match her son's writing or communication style. And as it turns out, she wasn't the only one getting odd messages from Donald's phone. Starting on February the 13th,
I feel like, bro,
his
like,
boss
a real smart nigga, bro, a real smart killing nigga, like, bro, if he was really smart, bro, I feel like this is where the tism came in type shit, bro. Like, if he was really smart and shit, bro, he would, like, scroll up through the text messages, seen the style that he texted with, bro, and then he would, like, use that style to send that text message, bro.
received
But
a
I
number
feel like because he has that special needs and shit or
of
something.
texts informing him that he was too sick to come to work and that he wasn't even able to talk on the phone. Donald's mother held off for nearly 2 weeks, but at 9:45 in the morning on Friday, February the 28th, she called the Waukesha Sheriff's Office and asked them to perform a welfare check on her son's house on Cedar Hills Drive. This is what the operator told the deputies who were dispatched to the scene.
Caller's out of state requesting well-being check on her son, Donald S. Mayer, born in 73, his wife and their teenage son. Caller got a call today from the teenager's school and advised that they hadn't been to school in a long time. Caller hasn't had contact with anyone there in a couple weeks.
Interestingly, the sheriff's office received another call about the Mayer family that day. An administrator from Waukesha High School had called to report Nikita had not been in class for approximately 2 weeks.
Affirmative, and has perfect attendance, so it's really out of the ordinary. They've been out of school for a little over 2 weeks, and no one's called them out.
At about the same time, Nikita took a number of photos of himself posing with his stepfather's Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum. The Mayer house looked neat and orderly from the outside when deputies arrived later that morning. They knocked and identified themselves multiple times, but when no one came to the door, they walked around the house to see if they could find an open door or window. But when they couldn't, they forced their way in. As soon as they did, they were confronted by the pungent and unmistakable odor of decomposing flesh. Moments later, they found 51-year-old Donald Mayer covered in bedding and surrounded by candles on the floor
That's
of his
some satanic
office.
shit.
It was hard to tell, but it looked like he had at least one gaping gunshot wound to his head. After that, the deputies found Nikita's 35-year-old mother, Tatiana, on the floor in the upstairs bedroom, according to some accounts, in the hallway possibly. Either way, she was covered in bedding and had been shot multiple times. As for Nikita, the family dog Toby, and Donald's Volkswagen Atlas, they were conspicuously absent.
Oh,
Neighbors
nigga, I thought he killed the dog too, bro. You gotta be some type of sick to kill a dog.
told
bro.
investigators that Nikita drove away in Donald's Atlas on the morning of Monday, the 24th of February. That meant that the possibly armed double murder suspect, who had previously been investigated by the FBI, had a 4-day head start. And when the authorities pinged Nikita, Donald, or Tatiana's
Man,
phones,
that nigga said
they
he
were
gonna
all
drive
nearly-
anyways.
When the
They won't let
authorities
him get his driver's license. He said, "I'm gonna drive anyways."
pinged
Boy.
Nikita, Donald, or Tatiana's phones, they were all nearly 1,000 miles or 1,610 kilometers away in Cheyenne, Wyoming. They continued pinging the phones over the next few days to track Nikita's movements. At that point, they had no idea if he was driving aimlessly or was following some pre-planned escape route. Whatever the case, he traveled through Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, Colorado, and Wyoming before ending up in Waukene, Kansas, late
Why
on the
the
night.
fuck? Why would he go here? Like he from the map, like he made all these. He paid like what the fuck he do all this shit for, bro? He went to Colorado, then Wyoming, just go all the way down to Kansas.
Of February the 28th, the same day that his mother and stepfather's bodies were discovered. At approximately 11:25, a local officer saw a silver VW Atlas with Wisconsin plates run a stop sign just a few blocks from I-70. By then, the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department had listed the Atlas as stolen. They also added notes in the system to alert authorities in different jurisdictions that the driver was a person of interest in a double homicide and should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. As such, the unsuspecting officer in Waukene, Kansas, knew he had his hands full.
What y'all doing, bro? Y'all stopping him? I'm calling police, bro. I'm calling
Oh,
police. If that nigga killed his parents, what you think he gonna do to you, bro?
He ran the VW's plates. He thought the driver might flee and lead him on a high-speed chase, or even worse, he could stop and engage him in a potentially dangerous and deadly gunfight. The next few moments were unimaginably tense as the officer accelerated up to the Atlas and hit his siren and lights. The vehicle pulled over moments later. The officer drew his gun and ordered the driver to get out with his hands up. And moments later, the door opened and the driver stepped out into the darkness. Thankfully, Nikita complied with the officer's commands and was taken into custody without incident. The officer realized just how lucky he was later that night when investigators found the .357
Man,
Magnum
little Fortnite ass gun, boy.
handgun in the Atlas, just an arm's reach from the driver's seat. The search also
Motherfucker,
turned up
that's a
14
gray
in the
revolver,
Atlas,
bro.
just an arm's reach from the driver's seat. The search also turned up $14,000 in
bands.
cash, Donald and Tatiana's driver's licenses, phones, bank cards, and a pile of Tatiana's jewelry, along with the family dog Toby. Waukesha County detectives spent a lot of time building rapport with Nikita when they interrogated him on March the 11th of 2025, shortly after he was extradited from Kansas back to Wisconsin. Nikita told them about life in Waukesha, and he took obvious pride in the fact that he was such a model student.
So you guys lived in Waukesha, you, your mom, and your stepdad. I know you guys got a dog, Toby,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In that same house in Cider Hills?
Yes.
Okay. Going to school, going to Waukesha West, how's high school?
It's good.
Yeah?
Good grades.
You do well?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy?
I suppose history.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hey, I'm telling, just like nigga, I can tell because he has his hands like this while sitting down, bro. He's Mark Zuckerberg 2.0, bro. Mark Zuckerberg 2.0 type nigga, get all A's, get 100 in every single one of his classes, boy. But nigga, he's probably one of the most special ed people. No, I'm not of all time. Not of all time. I was doing too much, but he definitely is special ed, bro. Definitely.
Okay. Anything you don't like about school?
Not the type of special ed to write short bus and none. You probably had to wait like a couple of years to find out he was like he probably found out when he was like 14 years old, something like that.
Just waking up in the morning, having
Having to go?
Any clubs at school?
yeah. The environmental club,
Okay.
Fuck.
the
What environmental club?
Interact is called. It's basically like local community type of volunteering.
Oh, okay.
Then FBLA,
What's that?
It's like, it stands for like Future Business Leaders of America.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
different like things you can choose, like different events or topics. And I choose cybersecurity one.
Okay,
I was in the process also of joining National Honor Society as well.
okay. Grades are really good then,
Yeah.
obviously? Okay.
Where do you rank?
Grade is okay.
Where do you rank in the class, do you know?
Third,
That's
Damn.
What's the plans after high school?
I was thinking Madison.
Yeah? For what?
I was thinking something STEM related, maybe engineering. I wasn't entirely sure.
Like, what is the, like, if you're thinking of a dream?
Like, bro, like if you that smart, nigga, why the hell would you kill your parents, bro? You already knew what you wanted to do after high school and shit.
Don't know yet?
What you say?
Entirely sure.
Like, what is the, like, if you're thinking of a dream
Oh,
job,
dream
what is
job.
it? Don't know yet?
Hard
Yeah.
question.
Most kids don't know when they go through college.
Engineering, that's a lot of math. Are you a math lover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up until then, his time with the investigators was more like a pleasant meeting between new friends than a bona fide interrogation. But eventually, they had no other choice but to address the business at hand.
We have a feeling like we know what happened and when it happened. We have no idea why this happened, okay? The only one who knows why is you, and why you were out in Kansas and why you left, okay? And I'm really hoping you talk to me about why this happened, more than what, all right? This is your story, Nikita. Understanding the above stated rights, are you willing to answer questions at this time without the presence of an attorney? And like I said again, if you want to see the quick questions I ask and choose not to answer those, you can.
Wait, you can do
You want to
that?
answer all of my questions? It's up to you.
You
It's
can,
your
bro. You
choice.
can see the questions they're about to ask you and decide whether or not that they must be they must be doing that just because like he's in high school and
Should I
shit.
say no to that, or is that like a?
No, listen, these are your rights. No one can make you talk to us. Okay? This is whatever you're comfortable with. I can't make you talk. You don't have to talk to me. All right? I'm telling. The point of us talking, more than anything, I promise you, Nikita, is that I want to know why, so that I can tell your family in Massachusetts, so I can tell your grandma Lydia, because I've talked to Robert, I've talked to Judith, I've talked to Tanya. I didn't talk to Lydia, my partner did. No one understands what happened, why this happened. And they're looking to me to give them some of the answers, and I can't give it to them without talking to you. So you can tell me you don't want to talk.
Yeah, I think I'd rather first talk to an attorney.
Okay, that's your right.
After Nikita exercised his right to remain silent, the investigators left him alone in the interrogation room to think about what he did and contemplate his bleak future. 2 hours later, an officer escorted him to a different part of the building before he was transferred to the Waukesha County Jail. The detectives didn't get the confession they were hoping for, but as the investigation continued, the authorities uncovered a mountain of damning evidence against Nikita. First, they found his 3-page manifesto, Accelerate the Collapse, on his phone. In it, he talked about assassinating the president and
You gotta watch out for niggas like this, bro.
possibly the vice president, creating chaos and saving the white race from what he described as the Jewish-controlled politicians. The manifesto also included this statement: "Hail, hail, the white race.
This
Hail
nigga's not
victory."
even white. What the fuck? He's not, or
Investigators
like he's not white American. Like what the fuck, bro?
also found home security footage which showed Nikita manually adjusting the camera in Donald's office, lighting the candles around his body and saying this: "So you can see him there. I can literally see the rotten body there." It's unclear who he was talking to, but investigators suspected it was someone on the phone, possibly one of the unidentified.
Wrong. He's crazy. He ain't he talked to himself when he say that shit. Either he talking to himself or he talking to the devil when he say some shit like that. Stop giving this nigga the benefit of the doubt, bro. This nigga crazy. Look at him. Does it look like, do y'all, after you look at him, do you honestly think he was talking to somebody on the phone? It literally said he had plans of killing the president and vice president to save America from the Jewish race and all that other shit. After looking at this nigga and reading his manifesto and finding out he killed his dad and his mom, Do you honestly think that he was talking to somebody on the phone? I don't think so. I think he was talking to his damn self, or he was either talking to himself or to the devil.
Russians who were allegedly selling him a bomb-dropping drone. Based on the phone ping data, they also determined that he murdered Donald and Tatiana on or about February the 11th. And even more shockingly, he lived in the home with their decomposing bodies for nearly 2 weeks before fleeing. But despite his shocking behavior and radical rhetoric, the authorities ultimately concluded that Nikita was primarily driven by financial interests. Nikita was initially charged with stealing the VW Atlas and the .357 Magnum and for using his mother and stepfather's IDs and bank cards to obtain money. But unsurprisingly, he was eventually charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of hiding corpses, and 1 count of intimidating a witness for the incident in school when he told his female classmate about his plan. Nikita remained in custody under a $1 million bond, and his trial was initially set to begin on March the 2nd of 2026. Despite putting together a relatively airtight case, prosecutors offered Nikita...
I don't know what it is about neo-Nazis and the Aryan Brotherhood. All them niggas look the same, bro. Every single last one of them niggas look the same, bro. I'm sorry, dude. I think it's like it may be one of them things where it's like, all right, cool. If you're gonna be part of this group, this is what you gotta look like. You gotta get this haircut. You gotta get this mustache, bro, and you know the little goatee and shit. I don't know what it is,
together,
bro.
It was initially set to begin on March the 2nd of 2026,
and they all be skinny as fuck too, bro. It's either they're skinny as fuck or they're buff as hell, dude.
Putting together a relatively airtight.
There's no in between, literally.
March the 2nd of 2026. Despite putting together a relatively airtight case, prosecutors offered Nikita putting together trial was initially set to begin on March the 2nd of 2026.
That's a week ago, bro.
Putting together a relatively airtight case, prosecutors offered Nikita and his defense team a plea deal in late 2025.
In consulting with the family, they were in agreement that this is a fair offer. I think it gives us a time period that we want for incarceration, so there's really no reason for the family to try.
Are you able to say at this point what you plan to argue at sentencing?
I think that this is a maximum penalty case. I assume that that's what I will be arguing. I never thought anything other than that from the time I charged this case.
So do you think that there's a chance he's going to get out in 40 years, 50 years, and be back in this community?
Certainly, I don't think he should be out in the community, and I would argue against that.
How did you consult with Nikita Kassup as well, or just his attorneys? I know there was a lot of talk today. Like, did he actually understand everything that was happening to him, since he isn't through high school and English is not his first language?
Right.
Man, nigga was speaking perfect English in that interrogation room. He was speaking perfect English in that interrogation. He was speaking perfect English when he was on the phone with the nigga talking about, allegedly he was on the phone with somebody talking about now you can see his body after he killed his parents. Man, I don't want to hear that because English isn't his first language excuse, man.
Based upon the record that was made today that he did understand everything. I indicated I would never communicate directly with
shit, that nigga was in fucking 8 clubs, was a straight A student. But now we want to use the excuse that he don't understand English. Man, fuck about here with that shit, dude.
His counsel, and I think it's a good resolution.
Nikita accepted it in January of 2026, and by doing so, he forfeited a number of rights in exchange for prosecutors dismissing the 8 additional felony charges.
Is it your understanding, sir, that you and your attorney are going to be free to argue for whatever you believe to be an appropriate sentence or sentences in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is it also correct, sir, that you and Mr. Raffel...
How does how does somebody get how do they get brainwashed into this shit? Like, if that makes, like, how does one go from fucking being a straight A student into becoming a neo-Nazi, bro? Like, that's why I said, bro, it's gotta be special needs. Gotta be a case for special needs with this nigga, bro. Even if it's the smallest case, he gotta have some type of special needs, bro. I think that's the only explanation for how people can go from being a straight A student to being a neo-Nazi or whatever you call that shit, bro. Because that is crazy to me, dude. It's crazy.
The parameters, that is the extent of the sentences. That is, if you're found guilty of these 2 counts of first-degree intentional...
Mind you, bro, this nigga's not even fucking from America, and he's a neo-Nazi. Like, that's what I said, bro. Like, it's gotta be some case for for special needs, bro. Because nigga went from a straight-ass student to being a neo-Nazi. Consider, even mind you, this nigga's not from America. Like, what the fuck?
Homicide. On each count, it carries with it a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of extended supervision. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
But on the other side, there is an option where the court could allow for extended supervision eligibility, not a promise of it, but the opportunity or eligibility for extended supervision after 20 years have you served on each sentence. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that's, it's not a minimum, but it's the possibility exists for extended supervision after 20 years on each sentence. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you feel that Mr. Raffels explained that to you adequately?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
By then, 18-year-old Nikita was no longer the cool and confident young man that he was when detectives questioned him immediately after his extradition. In fact, his chair trembled noticeably during the subsequent court proceedings.
This also tells me you are not receiving any treatment for a mental illness or disorder. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it also true that you've not had any alcohol, medication, or drugs in the last 24 hours?
Yes, Your Honor.
I give up my right to a trial. True?
Yes, Your Honor.
I give up my right to remain silent, and I understand that my silence could not be used against me at trial. True?
Yes, Your Honor.
I give up my right to testify and present evidence at trial. True?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody in any way force you to give up these rights?
No, Your Honor.
Did you commit these offenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, as to count number one, as to Donald Meyer, did you intentionally take some action? My understanding is that you used a handgun, a pistol, or a revolver, and you shot him and caused his death. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you do that intentionally?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you knew that shooting him would cause his death?
Yes, Your Honor.
And as to count two, Tatiana Kasep, and the same questions for you. Did you take an action? Did you
What was
use
his
a
reason
handgun
for this shit,
to
though?
shoot her and kill her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was that your intent, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You admit you committed both of these offenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Nikita is currently being held in the Waukesha County Jail awaiting his sentencing hearing, which is scheduled for Thursday, March the 5th of 2026. The judge could go easy on him and make him eligible for parole after serving just 20 years for...
Nigga. This nigga, bro, he has killed his mother and his stepdad. His stepdad who treated him like a son, brought him in, or I don't know about all that, treat him like a son. But he brought him over from another country, let him stay in his crib. So that's why I say he treated him like a son, bro. Because I'm not doing that to to a random kid who I don't know. You feel what I'm saying, bro? So he killed his mom and his biological mom and his stepdad who treated him like that. Nigga, you mean to tell me y'all may give this nigga, y'all may free him after 20 years in jail? Y'all may free this nigga after 20 years in jail, bro. Bro, don't be surprised. Hey, all I'm gonna say, don't be surprised when once he gets free, the murder rate goes up, bro.
Each count of first-degree
Don't
murder.
be surprised when he gets free that same year and the president dies, man. Because that's literally what he had in his fucking manifesto, bro. It said I had plans to kill the vice president and the president, man. Like, what the fuck?
However, the district attorney made it clear that the
And
prosecution
y'all gonna try to free this nigga after y'all see some shit like that?
would ask for the maximum sentence. And, in all likelihood, the young man from Moldova, who once held a bright future, will probably spend the rest of his life in prison. We would like to express our
Yeah, rest in
sincere